Right, so today I'm going to attempt to reprogram, to program a new key into my Jeep Grand Cherokee. So currently, I mean, the car only came with one key, which was this key, and that's the old, what would you call that, a shaft? I don't know, and see how bent it is, and I was really paranoid about that snapping. So kind of irrelevant to the programming bit, I bought one of them online just for a couple of quid. So went into my local key cutting establishment. They removed the bent shaft out of my original key and refitted that with the new shaft, which has been obviously cut to my vehicle. So this didn't affect this didn't affect the workings of the actual fob, because it was just the key bit that's been recut. So you can hear that, locks, unlocks, ignition on, engine on. So as far as we're concerned now, that can be the original key. But what we're going to have to do now is program the new key. So what you're going to have to do is either go to your Jeep dealer and spend an absolute fortune, or go online and buy this isn't a genuine Jeep item. I think it was £11. So what you're going to have to do is buy one of them. Make sure you don't just buy the shell with the let's say the shaft on. Make sure the key's complete with all the electronics inside, because if not, you're just going to end up with a case around a metal shaft that isn't going to work. So what you need to do first of all is buy one of these. Then once you've bought it, you need to get the shaft cut to match your existing key. So if by magic we now have a cut key, so let's put that in the ignition. Ignition's on, but let me show you this now. Because the key's not been programmed to the vehicle, you can see that red light flashing that's telling you there's something wrong with the key or the transponder in the key. Now obviously it works the ignition because the key fits, starts the car, but it should, there you go, it conks out. So what we need to do now is program this key to the car. So the other thing you're going to need, because it's all electronics, it's not like the olden days, you're going to have to go and buy something else. And what you're going to have to go and buy is an OBD scan tool. So I have a mate who's a mobile mechanic, and he's actually got one of these. So and he says they're all right. So I bought this V-Peak OBD2 scan tool, right? And like most blokes, you probably won't read the instructions, but I recommend when you get it, comes in this little box. But in the box are some instructions. So depending on whether you've got an Apple iPhone or whether you've Android, the setup procedure is slightly different. So as you can see, it's not that bad because it's in loads of different languages. So the first job And what I'll do, I'll go through the, I'll actually do it as though I'm reading the instructions. So, where with an Android, it actually recommends apps to download online. So because this vehicle's a Jeep, and I think it'd be the same with a Chrysler and a Dodge, I've gone online and downloaded an app that is that brand specific. So first of all, we've got to pair the phone with this. So let's plug this in. Right, so because I'm in the UK in a right-hand drive version, it's a 3 litre diesel. The actual OBD connector is on the driver's side, as you can see. And if you look underneath there it is. So what we need to do, let's see. So I plug that in, and that blue light's come on. I'm just going to leave that there. So the tool, the OBD reader, the scan tools plugged in. Now I'm just gonna go off the instructions that are on the scan tool, right? So we've installed the app, we've plugged in the device, turn on the ignition. But just for your reference, I've actually used the new key that doesn't start the vehicle but switches the ignition on. Right, plug it per your foot. Right, so let's turn Bluetooth on. Available devices, VPeak. Right, so pair your phone with VPeak. VPeak pairing. Right, there we go. The pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all in the instructions. Pairing. Right, so we now paired, the phone is now paired via Bluetooth with the scan tool. Right, so that's done. Open the app. So what we're going to, I'll show you the, well, I'll show you now actually. It's that one, which came recommended. This is specifically for Jeep. Oh, hang on, I've not put my data on. Right, and then as you can see, we've got Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and then a mega list of lots and lots of different models. So if you've got a Jeep, a Ram, or a Chrysler, the chances are it's in that. Right, so now it's asking me. So I'm in a WK Grand Cherokee, so I'll press that. Preparing vehicle data. Right. So at the bottom, it's got various Bluetooth devices that I'm paired with. So I'm going to press the VPeak one again. Connection vehicle, so the VIN's popped up. Seems a pretty straightforward if you just follow the prompts through it. So that's the screen you then come to. I'm going to press adaptation. And the second option down makes reference to the ignition key, right? So let's press that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth option down there is to reprogram. ignition key programming, so I'm going to press that. Can you read that? I'll press go. So unbeknown to me, you need to buy a license that's you need to buy a license that corresponds with the VIN number of the vehicle. So let's press that one, let's see what happens. So for £21.49 now, but then you've got it forever, haven't you? You know, you're paying £21.49 for the scan tool to be compatible with your vehicle forever. Right, so now I've just bought the license, that's 20 quid. So let's go back to ignition key programming. So press go. This function is to be used when programming a new ignition key or reprogramming an existing key. It will program. Go on, have a read if you can, if you want. I'm not rushing through it because, like me, if I rush through it, you'll not know what I'm doing, will you? Right, so it was prompting me to get a pin reading. So back on the key programming and remote start menu, if you look down there, it says WCM pin reading. So I'm going to tap that. That symbol comes up. Right. It's a bit hit and miss, this video. I thought it'd be a bit simpler than this. So let's press target value, boom, available options. Right, so we may as well go for the WCM2 WK because this vehicle's a WK. Then we'll go working. The thing is, because of where I'm parked as well in this valley, I've not got a very good internet connection. Great, changes applied successfully. Okay. Right, this is getting overcomplicated. Well, I'll not say overcomplicated because it is quite simple if you follow the prompts. I don't want to go back in the menu in case I mess things up. So it's now given me, under where you see target value, don't know if you can see, I selected WCM2, then press go, then the possible pins above it, there's probably about 8 variants there, so I've just wrote those numbers down because I think I'm going to have to input them in a second, so I'm just going to press go. So it just says it's, so again, changes applied successfully. So if I press OK, right, so now we'll go back, because I've got the pins, haven't I? So if we go back to that menu, under key programming and remote start, we went down to WCM pin, down there, selected that to get the 7 pins we've now got. Going to go back up to ignition key programming. That should ask me now to put the pin in. Checking ignition, right, enter the pin, right, so this is going to be might take me 7 or 8 times this. So the first one, so So that's it. Press go, see what happens. We've got that displayed. What's that say? The pin you entered is not valid. Please continue to re-enter the pin. Go. Right, so what I'm going to do, because the pin's not going to be the whole thing, is it? Is do the next one and the next one till we come to the correct pin, because there's 7. Ah, right. So programming of ignition key was successful. Continue to program another key, otherwise exit the program key procedure. Once completed, cycle the ignition off for 45 seconds prior to starting the vehicle. Right, so I put in, there was 8 different pins, and I think it was the 6th one I tried worked. So if, what does go mean? Let me just press go. Done. Right, so let's switch it off for 45 seconds. Right, so 45 seconds later, let's see what happens. So let's turn the ignition on. That red light that was illuminated before's gone off. It starts, hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't go off after 2 or 3 seconds like it did before. Looking good, isn't it? So this is the new key. Right, so let's turn that off. So this is a new, remember the buttons didn't work the car or anything before, so there we go. Lock, unlock, lock, unlock. Right, so that all works. Let's try that again. Starts. Don't you get a sense of achievement when something like that actually works? So let's just quickly go over it again, because it was quite complicated, that, weren't it? Because it was, I've never done it before. So depending on whether you've got the Android or Apple, there's a quick setup guide. If you get the V-Peak scanner, when you open the box, you'll see the quick setup guide there, and there's one setup guide for Android and one for Apple. So go through that initially to pair the OBD2 reader to your phone, and then once you're on your phone, go to wherever you get, probably Google Play. Let's disconnect from there. I just want to show you on Google Play what the app is. Give it a sec. Right, so I searched, as you can see, I don't know whether you can see at the top, I searched OBD2 scanner Jeep, and then if you see OBD JScan, that one, boom, that's the one that's installed. And as you can see about this app, oh, hang on, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge Diagnostic, so that's the one I've got. Right, so let's open it. Right, so once you've excuse me, once you've got the app on your phone, let's just quickly go through it. So I've got a 2008 Grand Cherokee, so a WK, so there you go, bang, on there. Let's just see how quick it does it. Bear in mind I've got quite a bad signal down here, and I don't even know whether I should have all this open, so let's just do that. Keep the ignition on. There we go. Right, so once you're on the app, it gives you the option at the bottom of your Bluetooth devices. So you'll have already connected the VP to your phone, so click that, vehicle initial, and then you'll come to this kind of menu, as you can see. Now if you're doing the key, adaptation, top right, and then you get that list. Now this bit's trial and error, because what you might do is just go down to the, remember you're putting your new key in, forget your existing key, you put your ignition on, put the OBD, put the scan tool in, ignition on, and then do all this, right? I think. If it's not, it'll talk you through it. So we'll go down to ignition key programming, right? So if you go on to that, what happened then? Oh, it's key, right, okay. So ignition key programming. Now if you go through the steps on here, and it asks you for it'll ask you for a pin. Can you see? So what you need to do is either go back or do this first. On the key programming in remote start menu, you've got WCM pin reading. So press that. Oh, available options, I just went for the top one. Let's press go. Right, so what it's done, press go at the bottom. Now as you can see where it says current values across the top, can you see all those pin numbers? What you're going to have to do is write them down. As you can see, the first one's 3333, the next one's 3536. So write those numbers down, right? Then go back to your ignition key programming. Obviously just keep going through as it prompts you, and then you'll come to the page where it asks you to put the pin. So what you're going to have to do is do that 3333, well it won't be that, it'll be probably a different pin, then press go. Then you'll probably get a message saying it's the incorrect pin, so delete that, then put the next pin in. And on mine I had, what did we say, 8 pins came up, and I think it was the 7th one that worked. But it does work. Sorry it was a waffle, but it does work. Look. And it does save you a few quid. So let's just quickly reckon up what it's cost for to get a key. So right, so we buy a key for about 12 quid. It's not a genuine Jeep one, right? Like I say, make sure it's got the electronics in it and it's not just the shell. So the key obviously comes like that, so then you've got to pay to get that cut for your vehicle. So let's say 12 quid for the key, then what, a tenner to get that done. So there's 22 quid. There's 22 quid straight away. Then it's 20 quid on the app, so that's 42 quid. And then one of these I think are about 12 quid. So for about 60 quid, I mean it sounds quite a lot, doesn't it? But for 60 quid, having something that would be upwards of what, 150 quid from a main dealer, let's say we get in it at half price, but in addition to getting it at half price, you're getting a scan tool, which will be compatible for all cars anyway, because let's say you had a forward, you could use this scan tool and then download a forward app. So we spend 20 quid on here, but let's just go into the dashboard of the OBD J scan that we've got here and look at all the different settings. Original key, let's see if, right, so let's just close that. Let's see if a new one opens this. So, new key that's just been programmed. So there you go, it all works.